seeing those dreams just crumble to pieces.
In fact, Louise says the former tenants were out of work and couldn't afford to pay rent for 6 months.
They left, and they were always arguing about the situation.
Really?
So it was interesting.
Finally, the psychics sit him down for a ritual.
Reset the energy in this house.
Move out the energy of it being a dungeon.
Like a coven of witches, they work as a team to drive out the negative energy.
This house healing is complete. Amen.
I mean, bottom line for you, do you buy this? Or is it a bunch of mumbo jumbo?
I can connect with it.
Where exactly do they learn to heal houses? At school, of course. This is the Berkeley Psychic Institute, an offshoot of something called the Church of the Divine Man, a new age religious group that believes God gave everyone psychic powers.
Amen.
Bingo Marasigan is sort of the high priestess.
We all are psychics. We all have that ability.
Long before J.K. Rowling ever conceived of Hogwarts, the Berkeley Psychic Institute was quietly teaching what Harry Potter would call divination.
Together we shall cast ourselves into the future.
Do you think of this place as Hogwarts?
You can say that.
And who comes here? Who are these folks?
You know, we get a variety of people from all walks of life. One is a postal worker, another one is a lawyer, another one is a geologist, another one is a nanny.
Ordinary people who believe they have extraordinary powers. They come to the Berkeley Psychic Institute to hone their skills.
It's kind of a mathematical ability. Some of you already have it really well.
Joni, a mother of 3, has been coming here for a year now. For her, psychic kindergarten is an escape.
Most of my life was, taking care of kids, cleaning the house, and I got to a point where I'm like, hey, what's the point of life if I'm just going to do the same thing every day?
Now that she actually gets out of the house a few nights a week, she feels like her psychic burden has been lifted.
I can totally see where I'm going, I see my future, and I'm totally excited about it.
Trey Johnson is a psychic hairdresser.
Clients in hair, they come in and they'll describe something, but it's not what they're actually meaning. So I'll start to use that information, start to talk to them about what it is that they mean that they want.
So what's your take on the whole psychic thing? Do you buy it?
No, I didn't before, but I'm starting to buy it more because he was talking about relationship issues and such. He's helped me a lot.
Our session is usually half hairdressing, half counseling. I haven't needed a counselor since I started coming.
Trey is still just a novice.
First part of your throat chakra is your clairaudience.
Still learning the peculiar lingo of the Berkeley Psychic Institute.
Blow your roses. Blow your roses.
When they talk about blowing roses, they're imagining a rose as a way of focusing the mind. They visualize the rose exploding as a way of getting rid of any unwanted thoughts or feelings. And it's possible to make a decent living from all that visualizing. Nisa Lane, a former director of the Institute, normally charges $175 for readings. She explains there are many ways to influence psychic energy. Her cello, for instance, can transform the energy in a room.
What I'm going to do, actually, is clean off a lot of those little tension points out of your aura.
She offered to heal my aura, the energy surrounding my body.
So there's been some energy in there not quite allowing you to actually express what comes from yourself. So just going to clear that out.
Does that mean I'm going to spill my guts to complete strangers now?
No. Just means you may speak more frankly.
Frankly, I felt better afterwards, even if it may just have been the power of suggestion. Some auras are harder to heal. The house where they performed the house cleansing still hasn't sold. In this economy, market forces may be stronger than supernatural ones. But part of what they teach is how to put the disappointments of life in perspective.
The fun part is to teach adults to learn to play again and not to take life seriously.
They're convinced there's a lot more to reality than most people can see.
Who do you know of by the name of Keith?
Ahead, can psychics really crack unsolved crimes?
There were times where it was very upsetting, and I broke down and cried. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
For true believers, psychics possess mystical but very real powers. But for skeptics, psychics are something much less magical. They're hucksters who use parlor tricks to scam people and sometimes hurt them. Once again, ABC's Juju Chang.
I was the last one to speak to Allie on the phone. We were always in communication.
It's been more than a year since John and Joanne Lowitzer's 16-year-old daughter Allie got off the school bus near her home just outside Houston and simply vanished.
I kind of knew that night that something was wrong, but I tried to suppress it, just thinking that I was overreacting.
Her disappearance prompted the grim responses we all know so well. The posters, the searches, the local news coverage. And there was something else typical of missing persons cases. 20 different psychics promised the Lowitzers their visions could help bring Allie home.
I see water and I see trees, dirt, but it's all very vague.
Georgia O'Connor found a missing relative for another family. The Lowitzers reached out to her for help.
From the information that I gathered, it looked as though she had been abducted and pretty brutally raped and murdered, which was something that was extremely difficult to pass on to a family.
But how can you pass on such gruesome details? What if you're wrong?
Well, there's always that possibility, but I can't get my ego in the way. I can't get fear in the way. I have to trust the information that I get and know that it's not my information.
It's heart-wrenching to have somebody lead you to an area like that and tell you that this is where they think she is.
But 16 torturous months later, Allie is still missing.
There were times where it was very upsetting, and I broke down and cried. I'm not ashamed to admit it. You know, when somebody tells you that your daughter's in pieces. You don't take that very easily.
What could be worse than a person who has a loved one, they don't know what's happening with that loved one, and this person, because of fame and money, steps in and tries to act like an authority.
Banachek, you're amazing!
Well, thank you very much.
Banachek, a magician and self-taught mentalist, is a critic of so-called psychic detectives.
What you're saying is that they're manipulating desperate people.
Absolutely they are. I mean, they are taking advantage of these people.
I, have to disagree with that in that I have thousands and thousands of people who tell me on a regular basis that you brought us peace, you brought us joy.
But Banachek says psychics often send police out on wild goose chases, wasting precious time and resources.
Again, at this time, there are no bodies that have been recovered.
It happens all the time, in case after case. Yet retired FBI agent Brad Garrett says in 30 years of law enforcement, he's never seen a psychic solve a mystery.
As far as finding a victim, finding remains, finding evidence, or in any way helping to solve the case, that's never been my experience. So it's really a disservice to victims.
Who do you know of by the name of Keith?
Psychic Sylvia Brown was involved in one infamous TV moment on the Montel Williams show. She told Craig and Pam Adkers that their missing son, Sean Hornbeck, had been killed.
There are 2 jagged boulders.
And he could be found near.
He's near the boulders.
Is he still with us?
Nearly 4 years later, every prediction she made turned out to be wrong, and Sean was found alive.
This is probably the best day of our lives.
Sylvia Brown later apologized, but claims she's broken case after case since.
Here's somebody that's holding up hope. They're holding out all kinds of hope. They're searching, and then you tell them your kid's dead. Turns out, no, your kid isn't dead. Your kid's been kidnapped.
That's terrible.
Horrible, disgusting.
Why so much anger? It's because Banachek is more than a critic. He's a crusader who for years has used magic tricks to prove that magical powers are just an illusion. Watch this.
There's wheels on this.
Yes.
This is a toy, no, not a truck. It's a toy school bus. Am I right about that?
How did you know that?
Is it a 3?
Yes.
And then a 5?
Yes.
You take it. Just shake it. Think it's going to bend. You got to really want it to. You can do it like this, too. Watch me. Watch.
It might look like he's bending metal with his mind, but he says it's just a sleight of hand.
Psychic phenomena has not been proven in a laboratory yet. It's not science. It never has been science.
To prove his point, when he was just 18, Banachek managed to discredit parapsychologists at Washington University. He and his partner fooled them for more than 3 years.
To be quite honest, we cheat.
Why go to all this trouble? Because Banachek believes that some psychics aren't just fakers, they're dangerous frauds.
People base life and death decisions upon what a psychic tells them. Should I change jobs? What should I do with my money? How should I invest my money?
Psychics get arrested for deceiving gullible